Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. Welcome to Montenegro. I can for sure say that welcome to the next EU member state. And I can proudly today use the stage and share with you some great news coming from Brussels. Today we got the approval when it comes to working group, ad hoc working group from the COREPER also and from all 27 member states, that today it is announced that we can start with writing and drafting the accession treaty for Montenegro. This is really a great news. Thank you very much. Yes, I prepared what this means for Montenegro. This is not only the Montenegro case. This is after 13 years since we didn't had any accession treaty, since we didn't had the political will, since the Croatia joined the European Union, we didn't had the political will coming from the member states at such a crucial moment for the enlargement. So this is also means not only that Montenegro is delivering, this doesn't mean only that Montenegro is the most advanced country. This means that there is the hope for the Western Balkan countries and that Montenegro is going to be first to join, but we see ourselves as a bridge between the Western Balkan and the European Union. And we want the whole Western Balkan to be the part of the European Union as well. So the good thing is that this year is the year for Montenegro, because we are celebrating 20 years since we regained independence. This is the year where we plan to close all the negotiating chapters. Well, 19 of them still. There is a lot of work, there is a lot of progress, there is a lot of reforms that needs and must be done by the end of this year. But there is also a political will. There is also a lot of things in the progress inside the member states, inside the European Commission, and also there is not anymore the fatigue, is enlargement alive? I think that in the past couple of years we didn't spoke about enlargement like this year or the year before. And the turnover and the game changer for Montenegro happened in 2023. Since then, you know that we opened all negotiating chapters and we closed 14 of them. In May, we expect 2 more chapters to be closed. So I think that we are in a good path, that we have a good dynamics, that we have good planning. And of course, this ambitious agenda is going to help not only Montenegro, but it's going to help all the rest of the countries. So it can help the enlargement itself. But when we are speaking about the celebrations, there is also that a couple just days ago, we celebrated also the 75th anniversary of the beginning of the European project, the signing of the Treaty of the Paris and establishment of the European coal and steel community. The founding fathers believed that shared economic governance anchored in common institutions could do what politics alone could not: secure lasting peace in a continent marked by conflict. So I think that 75 years from that day, we are still in the same position. We see that stronger European Union means also secure European Union, means also secure Europe itself, and that's why the enlargement is very important. Their idea was also that by integrating industries, removing business barriers and aligning economic interests, countries would not only trade more, they will trust more. And I think that everything begins from trust. If you have the trust in the partners, then you can shape the politics, you can change the world, and you can make things work. And I think that this region can make things work also. Because when we negotiate with member states and European Commission, we always see from the perspective of what this joining the European Union would mean for Montenegro. But also, let's see what for European Union would mean if any country can join the European Union itself. Let's see it from the other perspective, because I see that geographically, the Western Balkan is very important for the enlargement. Geopolitically, it is very important for the enlargement. And then we can bring the new energy. You know that we are already 100% aligned with common security foreign policy of the European Union. So in that way, we are a predictable partner, we're an accountable partner. And when it comes to trust, I think that our partners can trust Montenegro. What is the main thing about the trust is if we are delivering, if we are closing the chapters, then you have the trust of the citizens. And I think that the best way of having trust is also to have the trust into European Union itself. Not as a project, but as a common value society. And when we speak about the values, this is more than economy. This is more about rule of law. This is more about human rights. And of course, that is always good when it is, there is free market of the economy as well. So for us, joining the European Union, it is a value compass. And also this is good for not only Montenegro, but for the Western Balkan countries to have the aspiration to join the European Union. So the European integration is now one of the most studied models of the economic transformations in the modern history. The evidence is clear in each of their members. So if we have, for example, what happened in the member states since they joined the European Union, so until these days, you can see the change in Poland, you can see the change in Bulgaria, Romania, you can see the changes in Czech Republic, you can see the changes in Ireland. And these transformations are not only because their GDPs are even higher. Yes, it is about economy, but also the changes of their thinking of life, the changes how they approach of resolving all the things because they are together and all the challenges that we have, especially nowadays. These countries experience significant increases in foreign direct investments and measurable gains in improvements in GDP, income inequality and labor productivity as a result of the EU membership. But I want to be precise about what drives these outcomes because the numbers alone do not tell the whole story. EU integration does not generate growth just by opening borders of releasing funds, but because it requires something far more fundamental, strong institutions. And this is what Montenegro is doing now. We are, even after 20 years, we are now in the phase when we are building stronger institutions, when we are building more independent judiciary, where we are building more independent individuals that are ruling all the judicial, prosecutorial, parliamentarian functions. And I think that this is the change that Montenegro needed for so long. So by entering accession negotiations, the countries commit to judicial independence, reform their public administrations, strengthening anti-corruption frameworks, and adopt transparent public procurement. This harmonization also regulated standards with the most developed economic bloc in the world. While these reforms may appear technical, I can see from the position of the minister how they fundamentally transform the environment for businesses, investors, and citizens. And this is why these reforms are essential for growth, because if investors want to invest in any country, they want to see the rule of law. They want to see that the system is working, and they want to see that the country has the strongest institutions that meet all conditions that can attract the capital flow. The Western Balkans stands at a unique moment. With EU growth plan for the Western Balkans adopted in 2023, you know that we already have the envelope of 6 billion euros and performance-based linked directly reforms implementation. The growth plan offers tangible financial rewards for concrete reform steps. That means that before joining the European Union, we have the gradual integration so our citizens can have the benefits that is tangible, that are easy to explain, because it is not an easy thing when you close any chapter to explain what are the tangible results to our citizens, because these results can be seen in the future, not specifically at the moment. But when you have the growth plan, there are already the money that can come into Montenegro because of the reforms that we fulfilled. There is already that Montenegro became the part of the SEPA, so there is already something that is tangible and our citizens can see the benefits. And this is how it is the best way of the communication of the benefits, because once we join the European Union, we will have them even more. So I think that Montenegro at this moment positioned itself as not only the front runner, but as a country who wants to join first, but also who wants to help their neighbors. And I think this is only the fair approach. By our goal to close all the chapters by the end of this year, it means that all our experts can help not only the Western Balkan country, but also Moldova and Ukraine, and to share our knowledge, to share know-how, to be the part of the negotiating processes for the rest of the countries who wants to join the European Union. And I think that this is the fair approach, because If you learn how to share and live together, this is the only driver also tomorrow for the economy and for the better life. So, ladies and gentlemen, the lesson of 75 years of European integration is clear. The economic dividends of membership are real, measurable, and substantial, but they flow from the institutional transformation that membership requires, not from the membership alone. The Western Balkans do not need to wait until accession day to begin reaping these benefits. The reforms we undertake today, the institutions we strengthen today, and the rule of law we anchor today are generate economic returns in the present as well as in the future. Our pace of reform over the past 2 years has already translated into concrete measures under the growth plan, increased investor confidence, and tangible improvements in the business environment. The road ahead remains demanding and the reforms are hard, but the rewards, economic, political, civilizational, are worthy every step of the journey, for sure. Thank you.